I posted earlier this week or last week about one of these gurus online. Now, I'm not against gurus. I have my own favorite gurus, right? There are times when I'm in a certain place and I'll hear a certain quote online and it fucking really lands. When I look throughout my whole journey, there's been times when you hear these quotes, right, and they really land. It's a moment in time and they land, and you know, if you looked at them, you know, in the realities of life, they don't quite marry up, but they have an impact on you. So I'm not against them, right? I understand their space. But the issue I had with this one guy, and I can't remember his name, but like I say, I've seen some stuff on him. There was one, just for a bit of balance, I saw a post that he did about somebody, a woman had said she couldn't get over somebody that she was in love with, an ex-partner, and she was asking him, how do you get over it? And he said something along the lines of, what you need to understand is that when you fall in love with somebody, you fall in love with the version of yourself that you become when you're around them. And I really loved that. And because he went on to say, when you understand that, then you understand that that version of yourself exists free from them and you can access it without them. And I thought that was really powerful, right? I love that. It gives you some power back, and I really enjoyed it. But then somebody actually sent me this video of him. And the key thing to understand here is that he was responding to somebody that said simply, all they said, it was a comment that said, how do you forgive your parents? His response, for me, was just disgusting. So some of the key things that he said, you need to understand that you choose your parents, that your spirit chose your parents to learn the lessons that you needed to learn. He said some stuff about forgiveness where he was like, he sort of didn't say that you have to forgive them. Now, I've talked extensively about how I don't think you have to forgive them. He was coming at it from a slightly different angle. I quite liked that angle, actually. What he was saying is, it's a bit high and mighty to say that I can forgive someone. Actually, as I'm saying it, I think I don't like it. Look, he was saying that you're taking a position of power. So he was actually saying that's bad. But actually, I think if somebody's abused you and you can find a position of power to say, should I or shan't I forgive you? I think that's fucking all right. So let's put the forgiveness bit to side. But he said that we pick our parents. And then he went on to say that, like, it's the ego that believes that, you know, if you're struggling in your life today as a result of what you experienced when you was a child, then you're just using it to perpetuate your victimhood. And that really fucking pisses me off. It really pisses me off because it's not true. When you experience abuse at any age, particularly when you're a child, at the hands of somebody who is fucking supposed to keep you safe, who brought you into this world, right? It will change you forever. That's not victimhood to say that it will, right? And actually, there's a long process that you have to go through of feeling all of the pain, feeling the hurt, feeling all of that. Bearing in mind that if that parent's still alive when you're an adult, they're probably still abusing you as well, right? So then, like, there's all of that to contend with. So to give the answer that he did to somebody that had written a one-line comment like, how do I forgive my parents? And to do it from such a kind of high almighty way was fucking ridiculous. Now, I understand that when you are in the position that he is in, it looks like he's quite big, right? Quite well known. You have to be really careful for that. I recognize that I can sometimes do that. I can sometimes fall into, when I'm talking about toxic parents, right? I close my mind and I become, you know, over authoritarian with it. You know, my curiosity closes and I can answer questions sometimes in a bit of nothing else is true and my answer's right. So I get that. I don't want to dig him out too much for that because I think we have to have an appreciation that can happen, right? But the idea that you pick your parents, now, I'm going to caveat this as well. I love spiritual chat. I love sitting and contemplating, right? Did we choose this? What parts of religion do I like? Is there a bit of Christianity I like? Sikhism, Buddhism, Muslim stuff, right? I love that. I have spent time in my own journey reading spiritual text and taking parts from it and really contemplating the idea. I love the mysticism the curiosity that comes with some of the things that we can't explain. I love all of that. And you have to work through that, I believe, and then understand that you need to integrate those thoughts and beliefs into real and true life. And you can't fucking mix the two. You can't speak to somebody that's been abused and just fire fucking spiritual ideals at them on Instagram like it's going to fucking solve everything. That's where it's a real problem. That's where actually what I think is lacking is the integrative work. Because when I first started getting into, so I went bang down the Christian route, by the way. When I was about a year and a half sober, I became I was into Christianity, and then, I feel very restricted by anybody that's like, this has to be the one true way. But I know that like a year or two into my journey, these spiritual ideals, I picked them up, and what I did is, when my life felt too painful, when my true life experience felt too painful, I would use these spiritual ideals to not be with the pain. Now, there was some real benefit in that. I think it was really useful. I would argue to a degree, and I'm trying to be as balanced as I can here, that the breakdown of religion in the way that it's happened has left a bit of a hole in the way that we make sense of our pain. So I think everybody is free to make sense of their pain in their own way. If you believe that that you were, your soul picked before you came here, you picked the body and you wanted to learn these lessons, I think it's great I think that's great for you. I think that's brilliant. I just don't think you should push that on somebody that's fucking, potentially been abused or had a difficult childhood. What we really need, I think, what we really need over a period of time is to work through the truth of our experience. And then the idea that to accept that you still struggle as a result of your experiences when you were a child, the idea that perpetuates your victimhood, that is bollocks. It's bullshit. If you experience difficulty at the hands of a parent when you was a child, whether, maybe they're dead now, and so you've then had to work through that, or maybe they're still alive and they're out smear campaigning you, or still abusing you from afar, or still trying to get to you in different ways, or maybe you've got family, so you're still trying to navigate the relationships with them, and it's messy and it's difficult. If you struggle as a result of that, you're not perpetuating your victimhood. If anybody around you can't be with you in the pain that you're experiencing, then they are fucking bypassing and avoiding their own shit. That is what I believe, right? I believe that. I see it in myself. When I push the emotion down in you, it's because I can't experience what it feels like and I'm too scared to be with it in myself. Again, spiritual bypassing to a degree, sometimes we need to do it, but don't fucking push it on other people. If what people should say, if you can't be with somebody in their pain, if you feel uncomfortable being around somebody who's expressing their struggle that they're going through, you have the problem. You need to do the work on yourself. Don't push your bypassing shit onto them. Again, trying to be as balanced as I can here.